Okay, so we are returning for the third war of the season to cap off this week. We're looking for another win so that we can get a 2-1 record for the first week, which all in all would not be too bad. And I had a really fun war because this is the kind of war that I normally don't have, where basically I got to take in two powerhouse champions, Ghost and Cosmic Ghost Rider, and just absolutely obliterate some fights. And it's really funny because you may know the YouTuber DLL, who is in my battle group. He's the main officer in planning. So he's the one who kind of set me up with this war, and I have him to thank for that. But I just finished watching his last video, which was his war number 1. And the comparing and contrasting of the style of war that I'm about to have versus his first war, which was like a super niche controlled war with both Reed Richards and Killmonger, just absolutely perfectly countering fights with really skilled gameplay, versus what you're about to see here, which is just big yellow numbers. It just kind of cracked me up a little bit thinking about the comparing and contrasting of those two things. However, there were some tricky fights where if I made a couple mistakes, the fight would be over immediately. So I don't want to downplay that I was a little nervous to get these fights just right, and I did have to practice my duels and just make sure that I knew what I was doing and I knew what their animations would do, because when you do play Ghost, you do kind of open yourself up for mistakes. And same with Cosmic Ghost Rider. If you focus too much on his rotation and not what's actually happening in the fight, you can certainly make a mistake in the name of trying to preserve getting a dexterity buff or something, and then all of a sudden you're wrecked. So I'm going to start the clip right about now. And for this first fight, I'm on path 9 for the hazard shift stuff, and I'm going to be taking this with Ghost. So Ghost can obviously phase the debuffs and turn them into Furies and then just play normally. I didn't need to take any mini bosses or anything, so we were able to fit Wasp on the team. I do have a 6-star rank 3 Wasp, but she sits on defense, so I don't mind bringing the 5-star. And the only thing that makes this different than a normal Ghost fight is this. You have to parry and heavy at the start so that you get the miss timer off. And then we're just going to phase and do 1 or 2 hits just to dash back. Hopefully we can get some debuffs, get some Furies. We have 2 right now. And then I'm just trying to get to a special 2 at some point. I decide to bait her special 2. And I believe that I can finish it off right here with an unblockable special 2. The thing about Wasp is she just takes a little bit of the variables out of the fight because she makes sure that your special 2 is going to connect without you having to worry about the AI at all. So if you can fit her in, I do think it's worth it, especially in a high pressure situation. So this next fight is going to be Cosmic Ghost Rider against Killmonger. He obviously counters any Killmonger very well because of the permanent armor break that is going to shut off basically all of his annoying abilities. I quit the fight and went back in to manipulate the RNG so that, no, just kidding. I don't know why I did that. So yeah, the other thing is that he has the Fate Seal, so I'm going to be able to remove the Resistor physical resistance debuffs occasionally because I want to get this fight over with, or basically I want to get to a special 2 as fast as possible. The sequence that I use is a heavy attack first, and then a light ending combo second, and then a medium ending combo straight into the special 2. And then I'm hoping that 2 heavy attacks are just going to kill him here if they crit. That second one didn't crit. He still has 12 armor breaks on him, so I'm just dashing back. And I figure a special 1 is going to be able to kill him during this time. And none of the hits crit, but he is going to incinerate out while he's throwing a special 1 at me, which was kind of a funny animation at that point. So again, that's not always the rotation that I would use for Cosmic Ghost Rider, but in this war, I did the heavy attack first, which gives you the aptitude. And then I followed with a light ender and a medium ender so that the special 2 was ready after essentially 2 full combos. Now this was the fight I was scared about the most because sometimes phasing a champion that has a double medium with Ghost can be a little tricky. I'm thinking about my boosts. If I do want to boost, I decide to do advanced power boost and 8% increase special because I really just want this fight to be over in one special one, which certainly it could happen. She can definitely back you up into the corner. If she throws her special one, you have to be careful. And anytime that you miss, she's going to put an evade charge on, which means the only way to counter it is for Ghost to use her anti-evade ability, which is only when she's going to crit. And as you can see, the plan worked. I didn't even have enough time to describe that fight. So yeah, hopefully you caught all that. But yeah, Ghost boosted up 1 special 2, it was over. So that was fun. In the duels, I was using a 3-star, and I actually died a few times in my duels because they were very slow fights. So I figured, why leave anything to chance? It kind of worked out that I got some passive furies on myself, and I was able to connect that special 2 even after a little hesitation, and we were good to go. So next up, there should be nothing difficult about this fight in particular, because Cosmic Ghost Rider has class advantage, because Cosmic Ghost Rider has armor breaks, and the only thing that is annoying about this fight is the bleeds that you'll get from an armored champ, but he's obviously bleed immune, and also, you know, the armor's stacking up or something so that the fight takes really long. So once again, I think this is going to be a short fight, so I'm actually going to play it the same way as I did the last one. I had to avoid his little evade timer there, but we get the special 2 off after the same sequence. And I think I'm just going to throw heavy attacks again, because when you have that precision buff and all those armor breaks on, you're pretty much good to go to just kill him that way. Once again, the evade was up, so I had to be careful. That heavy attack didn't kill him, but in this combo round, he's going to go down. So yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider, nothing is stopping him on that node. And since I already had him, it made sense to send me that way. And then the final fight of the match for me, I only had path 3, which is sort of notoriously one of the easier paths, but you know, considering I had Ghost and there weren't many other places to use Ghost, we figured this Nightcrawler would just take out all of the variables. He does have explosive personality, which means with a conventional champ, if you hit the block to try to switch the stances, you obviously wouldn't be able to do that. So I do think, not that this is like a really tricky placement or anything, but you do want to hard counter his evade just to avoid any weirdness. Now, because I had Wasp, that took care of itself. I used the regen boost just to make sure if anything happened at the beginning of the fight. You know, I had some of those expiring, so it wasn't that big a deal. When fighting evade champs, I like to only do the 1 medium at a time because it's guaranteed to not evade. And yeah, that's sort of a classic Ghost fight, and that's all there is to it. So this was definitely a fun war. I was almost thinking of not posting it because I didn't think there was too much information to learn from it. But I guess the only takeaway I would say is, like, when you're planning a war, you really need to think about the entire map. And we actually had a pretty difficult map to decide where everyone was going to go. And, you know, a Killmonger on Hazard Shift, if we had sent Rulk there, I think it would have not been as safe as just using Cosmic Ghost Rider, who's at least immune to the Incinerate and can get him down without any nonsense very quickly. And likewise, all the fights that Ghost was able to do, she sort of took out any risk in the fight. And bringing Wasp along also really helped. So I think this is more video about what good planning looks like than my actual gameplay. But yeah, I definitely did still have to duel and execute. And yeah, so that's a week of wars done. We're 2 wins. We actually did end up winning this one, which is really good. Hopefully we'll be back in tier 1 soon and can finish the season strong. But yeah, I'm definitely having a blast. I've taken different lanes pretty much every war, and I've brought in different rank 3s every war, which for me is really fun. I'm really enjoying this war season so far, and I hope you guys like the videos and keep checking them out. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.